She, 2 full moons in the sky. She was worldly. She lived in the sunsets. She lived in the shadows. One by one, the planets came for her, fast and majestic. They approached and circled her, ascending and descending. She went from fear to faith. She was at peace with strange. She lived in the stairwell and on the still images on the wall. Fast she ran down the stairs. Aggressive was the bull that stopped her in her tracks. She submitted. Still and in awe, she gave in to its majestic presence. She was at peace with power. She lived in her head, and in her head she fell through the cracks and into absurdity. Her demons sat next to her. They knew her name but could not pronounce it. She fought them off with the hands of an angel on her hip. She sung for hope until she was without fear. She was at peace with rebirth. She lived in the waters and the tricks. Ugh, the people cheered for her as she behaved. She tossed and turned, and they stood in wonder of her agility. She tossed and turned in her own presence until she could not hold it in any longer. She searched for the heavens and natural habitats. Thin, straight, she was black and white, captive or prisoner. She took back herself. She was at peace with rebirth. She lived in the mud, the sinking, stinking mud. Good-looking men and shadows of men surrounded her. She could not see who was right and whether or not that was the question to be asked. She caught the verses that slipped from their lips. She sunk into the ground, heavy from the weight of their words. She made a choice and tossed to the man his own Bible. She was at peace with responsibility. She lived in her formidable innocence. She was at peace with her growth. That is she. She